All right. Sitting here or standing here in the lobby of the beautiful Atlantis Hotel with Chancellor Phil Dubois. How are you doing today, Chancellor?
I'm doing great. Great day for us.
Feel really good to be down here, right?
It does.
You've been around for a long time. I don't even have the first year memorized right now.
2005.
2005.
Yep.
Ooh, that's basically when I started my career at Charlotte, and it's been an upward trajectory ever since.
Yep.
Finally got some exciting stuff for some of the big moneymaker sports coming around now. Talk about what a week like this means for the university as a whole.
Well, it's been very gratifying to be down here to see all the fans come down. It's not a cheap trip to get here, and people willing to invest their dollars to support the Niners on this inaugural bowl, and we're just thrilled about it. It's been a long haul. We started way back when studying football and then making a decision to go with it, and 2 years as an FCS independent and then getting into Conference USA, and 5-6 years later, here we are.
It feels like a long climb to people, but I think people forget how short of a time ago 2013 was to 2019.
Well, one of the concerns we had when we took the Conference USA was that it would affect fan expectations about what we could really do. And, of course, building a football program is a long-term deal. And very fortunate to get great coach Will Healy and motivated these young men, and here we are.
It's amazing, the turnaround that just a year can make, and even, like you mentioned, we were FCS, so there's a drastically different recruiting style, expectation for the teams and everything, and I think the growth has shown, and he's not lying. The lobby of the Atlantis Hotel is full right now with Niner fans.
Yeah, and it has an effect on recruiting, of course, because one of the things we learned yesterday, I think he signed 14 players for next year, 14 that are 3-star or above, and I think that maybe equals the total in the entire history of the program. So.
Right.
That bodes well for the future.
So you are just a few short months away from retirement.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of Niner games in the future for you after you hit the dusty trail?
Well, we're going to settle down in Georgia at Reynolds Lake Oconee. I really wanted to give the new chancellor enough space to establish themselves, but I still have 2 of my 3 children will be in Charlotte. My son Taylor, my daughter Allie, and her husband. And then our 2 grandchildren are in Atlanta, and that'll be about an hour and a half away. So we think we're in the right spot. And we'll come back to some games, but only if the new chancellor invites me and I can sit in the box.
There you go. The Marshall game would have been nice to be in a box for sure.
That's right.
Okay, well, we appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks.
We wish you the best of luck in retirement, and thanks for everything you've done.
Well, appreciate your coverage of the team. Appreciate
All right.
it. See you.
So sitting here with senior running back Benny LeMay. Benny, big week for you. How's the week been going so far?
It's been good, man. This is my actually first time outside the country, so it's a little bit.
First time out? Oh,
first time, man. What a time. What I'm saying? What a better time to be.
There is no better time.
Yeah, but, man, it's great, man, being in Atlantis, having all the, the resort, and the events that they have, and the slides, and the water parks, and casinos. I mean, it's a ball, man. I mean, Coach been doing a great job of taking care of us and, having a balance between, working hard and enjoying yourself as well. And, I feel like, we're mentally prepared for, Friday, and definitely going to put a show out.
So we talked to the other seniors, Cameron and Jeff, a couple weeks ago about what it meant to become bowl eligible, but now you're here and the game's tomorrow. What does that mean to you, and kind of what's going through your head right now?
Yeah, we're really just trying to treat it like another game. It's Buffalo's a great opponent, and they have a lot of great players, and the defense is pretty strong. So we got to treat it like another game and treat it like another big game. Just this is the last game for me, being a 49er, and it's a lot of emotions going with it, but at the same time we got to go out there and handle business. So
both teams showing strong running games. What's the answer to tomorrow to stay ahead and put more up on the stat sheet than their running backs?
Smack them in the mouth. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, we do that all the time. So they have a pretty good running back over there, and they do some things well, and I feel as if we do better or just as good. So I've feel like our offensive line has progressed tremendously throughout the season, and really matured and really adapted the offense and really learned how to play with each other. So I mean, I've learned from them as much as they learned from me, and we're bonding with each other and really building.
Had a lot of adversity through the year too. You sat out a couple games with some injury. The offensive line has been shaken up throughout the year. Now it seems like pretty much everybody's healthy going into this game.
Right.
How important is that to be able to put your best?
Yeah, that's big, man. Missing those 2 games was hard, and watching the team play, and but they a lot of dudes stepped up, and in a lot of places, Aaron McAllister, Ashad, dudes, Chris Reynolds, took a couple carries, and then the offense started to really emerge, from that point, and I feel as if we kind of found our identity, through the season when that happened. So, I feel like, us, everybody being healthy, it means there's no excuses, and everybody can really go out there and give it 100%.
You might be a little young, but we've been calling you on the podcast Earth, Wind, and Fire between you and Aaron and Ishad back from the Giants days with Ben Jacobs and those people. But we love what y'all are throwing down. One last question before you go. What's your favorite moment as a 49er as you get ready to walk across the stage in a few months?
Oh, man, that's so many. I'll probably have to say, the Marshall game, man. I mean, the rivalry, Coach Lambert being over there, us beating them in that fashion, the resiliency of the team that, really was counted out the entire season. Coming into the season, we were ranked probably at the bottom of Conference USA, and for us to really, beat a top-tier team like that, in that fashion, and then as well for it to be the bowl-eligible clincher. I mean, it's just, there's probably no other beat moment that got
It's one of my favorite moments as a 49er, and I wasn't even on the field, so I know how you feel.
I agree.
All right, well, thanks for stopping by, Benny. Best of luck tomorrow. We're all rooting for you. There's a lobby full of people who traveled down here to see y'all put it on the field.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you. God bless.
All right. Sitting in the Atlantis hotel lobby with Solomon Rodgers. Solomon, how you doing today?
I'm doing really good. Enjoying this view, and just being here is just wonderful.
This week, I just got down today, but I've seen all the pictures of y'all having fun, dance parties, arcades. How great has it been to get away and just hang out with your teammates after a long season?
Wonderful. Just being here is just amazing. First time here, first bowl game as well. As being a freshman, hopefully there's more to come. But being here is just wonderful. I didn't know the Bahamas was like this amazing and just wonderful.
It's beautiful. I mean, it's raining today, but y'all got some really pretty days.
Yeah, we did. The beach was real nice. The weather was real nice yesterday. They got really nice water parks, slides and stuff like that I didn't even know they had. They got plenty of them, but I enjoyed every one of them.
Did you make it down the tall one that goes through the aquarium?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, how's that?
That one was wonderful. It was scary at first because you just drop and you see like a pit full of sharks and you think you're going to fall in that one, but it's actually really not. It's just a cage around it.
So as a freshman, new to the program, what does it mean to show up and see a lobby full of Charlotte fans travel all the way out of the country to see y'all play?
Honestly, I did not expect this many people. Like, I've had people come up to me while I'm at the park saying, "Oh, can I take a picture with you?" I mean, we honestly don't get that in Charlotte, but here it's just like wonderful how so many people support us and just out here and just enjoying us winning and enjoying our coaching staff and enjoying us. It's wonderful.
Anything that you've keyed in on for fans to keep an eye out tomorrow?
The energy. Honestly, we're going to bring a lot of energy tomorrow. More energy than we ever put out. But hopefully we just bring that energy, honestly.
Insider question for you. Coach Laskowski, is he always that fired up?
Yes, always. 24/7. I think he sleeps hyped up. Like,
do you think he sleeps ever?
Honestly, no, I do not. I really don't. He's up early. He's one of the best strength coaches in the nation. I feel he supports us. He loves us. He'll do anything for us.
So one more question before you go. You're young. What's your favorite moment so far as a 49er to this point?
Probably this bowl game.
Yeah.
First bowl game I've ever been to.
First bowl game we've ever been to. Anyone's ever been
Charlotte,
to here.
Yeah. So
you're creating history for us.
Right. Just being the first one to be here is probably the best moment in my Charlotte history that I'll probably get. There's probably more that's going in the future, but this is probably the number one thing.
And y'all haven't even got to the game yet. Imagine how good tomorrow's going to feel.
Yes, wonderful.
All right, well, I appreciate you stopping by.
Thank
you. Good luck tomorrow.
It was nice to meet you.
All right, so we are standing in the beautiful Atlantis hotel lobby with star defensive end Alex Highsmith and special guest father Sam Highsmith. How are y'all doing today?
Doing great. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no problem. You It's been a crazy week, right?
Yes,
Been having a lot of fun down here.
It's awesome. You know, this is. There's no other better destination for a ball game than this place. It's amazing. You know, just from the beach, the water park, just everything about this place is so amazing. You know, Coach, promised us before the game, no one's going to have more fun than we do, and also no one's going to lock in as good as we do. So it's been awesome just having this once in a lifetime, destination vacation place to spend with your brothers. It's been amazing. So I'm just thankful for everything that's happened so far.
Dad, when did you get down?
We got down yesterday.
Yep.
3 o'clock. Got the family down and saw a little bit of sun. By the time we got to our resort, it kind of went away. We still went out and enjoyed a little bit of the beautifulness. I mean, even when the rain, it's still such a beautiful place, and being here, it really is amazing.
And Alex, you were an original walk-on. I know that's been a big storyline there. Worked your way up all the way to now being a potential future NFL player as a defensive end. Talk about what that means, and I know the storyline is your work ethic and how hard you've worked, but that's a long journey to go on. How important is that to end it in a bowl game now?
It's been awesome. There's really three main things I feel have got me to where I am so far. First and foremost, my faith in Christ is what drives me in my life. He gives me everything. He's blessed me to be able to play this game, so I play for him. And just thankful for my family, the way they support me. They came to every game this year, and they're here now, so I'm just so thankful for them. And just everything means so much to me. Just that's why I worked so hard when I got here. Because I didn't want them to have to pay for my school anymore. I've just always been a hard work ethic guy. So really just coming out here, proving people that I can play and stuff like that. But those are my family, and God are the two main reasons why I play the game the way I do.
And I can attest, I went to the App State game and the Clemson game, and I definitely saw a family full of Highsmith shirts in our section. So I know y'all were at least at the ones that I went to. Dad, what about from your perspective, seeing your son grow to such a great man, huge potential for what his future holds? What's that mean to you?
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned the man piece first, because foremost, that's just been the thing we're the most proud of. His faith has kept him grounded. Knowing that he had to work and come from so far, and I see all these 3 and 4 and 5 stars out there, and so many that Charlotte's been able to recruit for this coming year. But for him being not rated, really not even looked at, he wanted to come to Charlotte, and thank goodness we made that decision to do this instead of going somewhere else. I think everything that he's seen has been like an obstacle. It's just been a challenge, and he takes it as such. Just the confidence he's had, and a lot of people know where he came from, like in junior high school or middle school and before, and just how his body's transformed and just how much he's worked. And I remember the very first time he talked about going to the league, and I remember telling myself, I hope you have a backup plan myself,
sure, yeah.
But just being positive, never said anything negative about it. And as it kept going, it's like he had a vision, but even more, he knew that he was willing to work to get it. It's just been fun being part of the ride, and I can say he's still a humble young man, and the person I'm more proud of than the football player.
You've been busy working. You've got just barely finished with the season, had kind of a week or two gap before the Bowls, but this is the first bowl game of the bowl season, so not a ton of time to reflect. But has it really sank in yet that you are second in the country in sacks for the regular season? Like has that hit your head, and have you had time to realize how amazing that is?
I mean, it is pretty cool, but it's like I don't like to think on it too much. I just it's kind of like being a pass rusher. Coach West tells me it's you just got to put it behind. It's kind of like it doesn't matter what you've done, it matters about what you do. So just having that mindset, because if I keep dwelling on that and keep and just satisfied with that, like I'm not going to get even better and get more. But now I am. It is something to celebrate. It is something really cool. I'm proud of what I've done, but I'm not satisfied yet, and so I'm looking at a couple more in this last game.
What should we look for tomorrow, speaking of this last game? What's your keys to their offensive line and getting home to the quarterback for tomorrow?
Well, I think, just we got to capitalize when we have the opportunity. They don't pass the ball very much. They beat Temple, I think, passed them 9 or 10 times or something like that. So they have a running back that has 1,600 yards rushing, so they run the ball. So the key to the game, the key to win the game is going to be to stop the run. When we stop the run, we win the game. So, and I feel like once we stop the run, help us to get to the quarterback even better, because they'll start play actions and stuff like that, and they try to trick us up. We'll know that because we stop the run, they're going to try to open up with the pass. So really stopping the run is going to be the key to us being successful and getting to the quarterback as well.
And you get a lot of attention, but the rest of the defensive line is nothing to sneeze at. You've got Watts on the other side of you. You got Timmy Horn and Tommy Doctor up the middle. How huge is that group been this year, and cohesiveness to just continue? You're getting double teamed, somebody else is getting home, clogging up the middle with the big men. How important is that to have such a solid defensive line?
Oh, it's very important. We've all gotten better as the season's progressed. Tommy and Timmy, these last few games have been, we have played really great. They've been a strong inside presence for us. And, it's really been, causing havoc. Timmy's been getting tackles for loss. So I'm just super excited to see them, improve. And I can't wait for Timmy to come back next year. And, Marquise, he's a special player. I knew that when he came here last year as a freshman. Like, this kid is amazing. And Coach West knows it. And just for him to already have 9.5 sacks as a sophomore year is so crazy. And I'm not going to be surprised at all if I come back in a couple of years and he breaks all my records. So the kid's amazing. He has an awesome work ethic, and so it's been awesome to play with those guys for sure.
So one more question before you go. What was or has been your favorite moment as a 49er to date?
My favorite moment as a 49er. When it comes, on the field, definitely the senior night win versus Marshall. That game was it was such an unbelievable and amazing, unforgettable night. Getting a chance to play against a really good Marshall team for senior night, a rival team, just playing that game was, it was awesome. It was such a fun game. We played really well, and then just having all the fans storm the field after the game was just so crazy and so awesome. Just seeing my dad and running up to hug him and crying, hugging him was probably the most priceless moment, one of the most priceless moments in my life. So I'll always remember that night, and so that was definitely my favorite moment as a 49er.
Dad, I know you're an adopted 49er, but you're bleeding green. What about you?
I have to say ditto. I mean, there was nothing like that. And I had some of my family there. My sister was there as well. And just knowing that we were about to rush the field was cool, and I took my time. And I talked to everyone. He'll tell you, I'm on one of these people I've never not met a friend, so I'm talking, enjoying it with everyone else, and all of a sudden I see him. And we just kind of met, eyes locked, and I went there, and I just remember crying and saying, and all that struggle, all you've gone through is just, this is it. I mean, whatever the Lord grants him when it comes to playing at the next level will be exciting, but I don't know if it'll match that feeling right there, because that was special.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for stopping by. Best of luck tomorrow. We'll all be rooting for you. There's a lobby full of people out there waiting to see what you all throw down tomorrow. So really excited for that, and excited to see what comes in the future for you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
So standing here with John George from the ticket office.
Yeah, I tell you what, you can't beat this, can you?
You cannot beat this. It's beautiful. We got a packed house over there. And you've been around the block for a while. You've seen quite a few Niners seasons. Talk about this season and how special this is.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable experience for not only our student athletes, but for folks like myself and our staff to get a chance to come down here with the families to experience a bowl game, the first bowl game in our history. And to do it at a place like this, you couldn't even dream that kind of experience, opportunity, thinking of your first bowl game again in our history. One thing that, when you do this preparation, I've been doing this, fortunately for Charlotte, for 20 years. We've had some great road trips in our history, both with football and many of our other sports. This is pretty good. It ranks up there with some of the better trips. And we're bringing a ton of people to the Bahamas over the course of this week and into tomorrow for the game, and then obviously afterwards for the folks who get a chance to stick around. Great opportunity. Again, I can't say how awesome it has been for not only our fans, but personally for myself and my fiance Leanne. It's been a great chance to come and hang out with Niner Nation.
And what day did you get down here?
We got down here with the team on Monday afternoon.
Okay, so you've had some time.
We've had some fun in the sun, in the sand, and the surf, if you will.
Were you participating in the fun team activities?
We didn't, because I didn't want to blow a knee or anything like that, because I probably would have, or rolled an ankle. Yeah. But walking through the Atlantis and the resort area and the beach areas and the pools, and seeing all the Charlotte logos and the smiles on the faces of our student athletes, their parents, their friends, our donors, our season ticket holders that are here as well. That's what it's about. A chance to experience something like this together. And it's been a great experience. And it's not over. We still have a football game to play, right?
That's crazy.
And that's why we're here. We understand that. But the experience to get to this point, I can't over or underemphasize or overemphasize, whatever the term is, but to say it's been a great experience. And, again, don't dream up the way this happens. But to see green in the Bahamas and Niner green, everybody's wearing it. The logo, the brand is out in full effect in the Bahamas. And it's all over Nassau, not just Paradise Island, but a lot of folks are staying at different hotels throughout Nassau. And we kind of asked that question when we were selling tickets over the last few weeks. Where are you staying, that kind of thing, to kind of get a feel for where we'll all be. And a lot of people converged here today for this great pep rally. And then to be able to do this prior to a football game and then a tailgate tomorrow. My role will be to hand out tickets, distribute tickets to not only the fans that have purchased tickets, to the player guests and to their player guests, including families, other coaches' guests that may have come down. So looking forward to it, something I've done for a long time, and it's part of my game day ritual, my game day experiences. But to do it with the fans is, again, a great chance, great opportunity.
And what do you think weekends like this mean long-term for the notoriety of the 49ers and specifically ticket sales?
Yeah, great question. So we kick off bowl week on ESPN at 2 o'clock on Friday. You think of March Madness in the week that people take off work and things like that. We have a lot of fans back home in Charlotte that will be watching this game, taking off work and maybe starting their holiday early for bowl week, bowl mania, if you will. And so that's a great opportunity, whether you're a Charlotte fan or a Buffalo fan. But if you're a college football fan, you kind of know what's happening, what's going on. And, some folks around here kind of don't know much of college football. If you're just here in the Atlantis Resort, unless you're with our programs, know college football a little bit to the standpoint of what a bowl means. And, oh, yeah, you're here for the bowl game. That's awesome. Good luck, those type of things. For back in Charlotte, the notoriety is, hey, you've made it to that next kind of benchmark of a bowl game, of having a successful season and culminating a chance to win one more game, to have the guys be able to practice together, be together again for a little longer than a normal end of the season would be if you didn't make a bowl game. As it relates to tickets, excitement, kind of a catalyst into next year. We've got season ticket holder and single game buyer surveys out right now, asking for feedback from the previous season, or the current season, I should say, and then getting ready to roll into season ticket renewals and deposit sales for new ticket buyers. We expect that to help us and to help raise the profile of why you should get on board now, because there will be more of these events, more of these opportunities. And I'll get into the number maybe in a little bit about how many people are here from Charlotte from a ticket perspective, but that can only grow. Our next bowl game will be more and then more and then more. And we want our fan base to know that, as season ticket holders, as fans, there's an opportunity for you to support this team beyond the regular 12 season games and potentially, conference championship opportunity or then another bowl game.
You tantalize me there. How many people are here from a Charlotte ticket sales perspective?
So if there is maybe 2 questions I've been asked this week more than anything, I mean, the most questions, one is, did you get out and enjoy the sand and the sun? Has been how many people are here.
Yeah.
And so based on my count right now, and it's a fluid number, we're over 800.
Wow.
800 fans. And I don't know the official numbers of past teams that have been here in schools, but I have a really good feeling that's a very good number.
Yeah.
So when it's all said and done, some of the fans have come down on their own, may come up and see me tomorrow about tickets and things like that. I think we'll approach 1,000. So 1,000 people from Charlotte and obviously our fans throughout the country, Texas and other areas, have made their trip here. I know I specifically saw a gentleman today from Texas and another one from New Jersey. And so Niner Nation obviously reaches far and wide, but a lot of people converged here in the Bahamas for a great opportunity, as we talked about earlier.
I thought it was a really good sign, too. I know it's not technically ticket sales, but the pep rally today is sold out. Tailgate is sold out, standing room only, and no way to add more people. So it's got to spell good news to just be able to see. Not only will people come to see games if you win, but they'll travel to see games if you win.
Well, our fans are ready. They're ready to support our program. They're ready, and we've had a number of fans been doing it for years. But we're ready for more. We're ready for more fans to kind of take that leap and get on board as season ticket holders, as single game buyers, as donors, and then to experience these opportunities with other fans. A few years ago, a lot of multiple trips to conference tournaments, you kind of had that feel for basketball. This is like that, but it may be like times 5 or times 10, and it can grow. It'll get bigger. To be able to go to somewhere, again, the Bahamas is a destination, but there are going to be other bowl games too that'll be in the United States and other areas. But specifically about this one, 800 people, potentially 1,000. I know that my staff and our ticket office at Charlotte will have distributed and touched 800 tickets. It's unbelievable, kind of crazy.
It is.
We went to Clemson and App. We handled more tickets. Of course, proximity maybe necessitated that, but it's like our 3rd largest trip in football history from a fan perspective. So that's something to be said of.
Yeah.
But we know we'll have more benchmarks to hit, more steps to climb, but we're enjoying it while we're here now.
Yeah, it's like what Coach Healy says all along. It's this was an important step, but now it's let's be perennial bowl, and then let's win Conference USA and get to bigger and better things along the way.
I mean, something like this you'll never get used to in terms of the excitement. You want to enjoy it every time you're here for the student athletes that may be new and experience it for the first time. But there will be a time in our history, and we're probably coming up on that, is our student athletes will experience multiple bowls and multiple opportunities to travel across the country or somewhere to participate and show with Charlotte 49ers and show Charlotte football. It's exciting times.
It is. So I got one more question before you go. We ask it to everybody. You've got a history outside of just football, so it doesn't have to be football related, but favorite moment as a 49er across your entire career?
Favorite moment? The first football game was really good, but I will say, as I look back in my green history, probably winning the Conference USA Championship in men's basketball in Louisville, beating Cincinnati. The whole arena is red for whatever reason, except for our 2 or 3 sections of green. And you win that tournament, and the only part of the stadium or the arena that's loud is our section. And I thought about that. I'm like, wow, this is unbelievable. We won a conference championship, and we're going to the show, and the next step is the NCAA tournament. I kind of vividly remember that one. There's so many along the way. Mm-hmm. That one jumps right out at me because
that's a good one to pick.
It was a young part of my career at Charlotte in general and college athletics, and I'm thinking, wow, this is easy, right? We win a conference championship, and it's not that easy, of course. No matter what you do in college athletics and sports in general, it just doesn't happen easily. That's one that comes to mind, but there's so many along the way, from soccer championships to hosting baseball tournaments and just the general game. And then overall, of course, it's the smiles on the fans' faces when they leave our events. We get to relive that every day when we have events, and we host over 100 a year. So all those add up to major moments in my memory. The one little one, as you mentioned, is if I had to pick one, would have been that one.
Yep.
That comes top of mind.
That's perfect.
I really appreciate the time.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoy the rest of your trip, and let's hope for cross our fingers on outcomes for tomorrow.
Enjoy the Bahamas and the Makers Won at Bahamas Bowl. Go Niners.
All right, stand at lobby of the Atlantis Hotel with Athletic Director Mike Hill and Deputy Athletic Director Daren Spease. How are y'all doing today?
We're doing great. What a special day here for the Niner program.
Yeah, if you're going to play a bowl game, this is the place you want to play a bowl game.
So I hear both of you have been here the entire week, living it up with the team. How's it been?
I think my favorite thing about all this has been watching our guys have fun because they work so hard. You think back to camp in August and back in the spring even, and you didn't be sitting there at 2-5 at one point, and a bowl game seemed like a distant dream, and they've earned this opportunity, and they've had a great time.
You probably stole everything I was going to say, but the smiles, and when you're walking through the hotel and you see the smiles, and you get the fist bumps, and you see the families that are here, they're so excited. If you're going to, I've been at UNC Charlotte a long time, and I think if you could draw up the sort of the perfect experience for these kids, this had to be it. They've put their blood, sweat, and tears literally into the program, and here we are today, and a chance to play a bowl game in a very short period of time.
Very short period of time. We just got done with the pep rally, which I was blown away by. I swear to God, I almost started crying. I was so happy with the amount of people here. Talk about what that means to both of you, though, who've kind of helped lead us to this point.
Well, I think I had a little bit of the same experience. I maybe didn't have the tear effect going yet, but seeing that those people show up, it's an investment to come to the Bahamas for these people, and it's a week before Christmas, so it may not be the most convenient time, but these people, it was important enough to be here for this first experience and for these kids, and I know this is sort of everything you dream of when you start a football program, chance to be bowl eligible, but then actually make it to a bowl. And And there are a lot of great bowls across the country, but there's probably not one that can really offer the experience that this place can give you.
Yeah, just to echo Daren's comments, I mean, you see the room and the enthusiasm and the energy and just the sheer numbers of people that we had there for the pep rally. It was really impressive, and I think it's actually foreshadowing for the game tomorrow. We've done a tremendous job of really, sort of corralling our fans and getting them here to the Bahamas. They've booked their trips here and they bought their tickets, and I think we're going to have close to 1,000 Charlotte 49er fans at the game tomorrow. And trust me, the bowl people are paying attention to that. They are so, I think, just shocked by the turnout, and it's pretty clear that the Niners are here to make an impact and to try to win a bowl game, and that's going to help us down the road too for future opportunities.
So I caught up with John George from the ticket office just a couple minutes ago before you two stopped by, and he mentioned the amount of ticket sales that have occurred just out of your own office, and even know that some fans are buying tickets down here or bought tickets separately. So, knowing that 1,000 people come, I asked him from a ticket standpoint what that means for future growth. But from your two perspectives, how important is that for continuing to be able to grow not just football but the entire 49er program?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, what it does is it demonstrates that there's demand and excitement for a program that is, on the way up. It's on the rise, and it's hard to build things. You start a football program 7 years ago, and everybody wants to be, in the playoff in 5 years, and it's hard to win. And what has happened in a relatively short amount of time, I think, is staggering. And to be in a bowl game and to have 1,000 fans there, it shows that there's a market for it. That our fan base is hungry. That goes back to our university. We've got 30,000 students and a ton of alumni in the area, and this is something that I think has ignited our alumni and our fan base.
I would add that the ticket sales are awesome. One of the other sort of metrics you can look at as well is, they've got merchandise down here, and I've run into people today saying I can't get it. They've sold through it. When you sell through everything they had, I was there. I was actually customer one. I was there before they opened up, and I bought a number of T-shirts for different people and things like that. But to go back 24 hours later and see what they had and now they don't, that's pretty remarkable. And that's another message. I mean, our fans are really wanting to experience the entire experience here, and I was really impressed with that.
That doesn't bode well for me. I really wanted to come home with a giant swag bag of gear, so I should have texted y'all earlier in the week and said, grab me this, grab me this, grab me this. But I saw even back home they're setting up a stand with the official bowl merchandise that fans can stop by, and I imagine that's probably selling like hotcakes up there too.
I've seen that. I've seen some social media related to that. Stuff looks good. I'm glad it's on campus. And the folks here, I don't want to discourage anybody from buying anything here because they're mailing. We have some folks that they ordered it. They're going to mail it to them. But getting that excitement, getting that logo out there is really important, and it just sort of speaks to how excited people are.
Let's switch gears real quick. So, talking about specifically tomorrow, you two have been down here all week, gotten to see the team prepare, probably have been around Buffalo's team as well. What are you looking for on the field tomorrow?
I think, the one thing Will and I talked about going into the preparation for this is, I said just be true to yourself. Continue to coach to your personality and your style, and there's not one right or wrong way to do it, except I think again to be true to yourself. And Will talked to a lot of other coaches who've gone through bowl experiences before, because this is Will's first as well, right? And he's smart enough to know that there's stuff he doesn't know. He's not been through it. And I think he had a chance to get some feedback from some really high-quality coaches who gave him some guidance, some advice on how to set up the week, set up practice, but also make sure the guys had time to have fun. And I think, Will Healy, he wants to make sure these guys have a really joyful experience. And so I expect them to play the way they played all year long, especially down the stretch, with a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and they're going to get after it tomorrow.
Right, I saw some real focused young men today. And they've had a great time down here. It's a wonderful property to water slides and beaches and things like that. And they had fun. They had fun with some of the Buffalo guys. They had some competitions and things like that. Friendly things that were set up here for the bowl. Today, looking in the eyes of Chris Reynolds, he's ready. I think these guys understand that there was a time to sort of have a lot of fun and play, but there's also the business trip here. They're trying to win a bowl game. That it's not only our first one; it's our first opportunity to win one. And to take home a trophy would be phenomenal for our program.
And we're right in the thick of kicking off bowl season, but another important milestone, huge recruiting class for early signing day earlier this week. What are your two thoughts on what Will Healy and staff have been able to bring home in terms of commits?
I think what we saw happen yesterday is exactly what we envisioned when we hired Will Healy. The idea was to try to provide a jolt of energy to our program from a recruiting standpoint, from fan interest, and certainly the performance of our team. And I think you check every one of those boxes. But the recruiting piece is so crucial for, the short-term and long-term success of the program. And to be able to secure the level of talent, I mean, it's clearly the most talented class we've ever signed. And so, as Will says, you've got to beat other programs you're competing against in the recruiting trail to beat them on the field. And I feel like based on what, he and his staff have shared with me and what I've seen, I think they accomplished that and then some.
Yeah, and they take a lot of, obviously, players that were already here that Brad Lambert and his group brought in, and they molded them into a bowl team. Now they have an opportunity to go find the guys that sort of fit their system and scheme. And I think as you look at the commits that we got and the signees we had, there's a whole different level here. These are kids that, we're going head-to-head, as Mike said, with our competition. We're going head-to-head with our conference peers, with G5. And Will doesn't back away from the kid that, has the ACC and SEC interest, because you can't get him if you don't recruit him. And he has a very, his style and his personality. If I was a young man that was 17, 16, 17, 18 years old, I'd have a hard time saying no to Will Healy, because you're going to have an unbelievably great experience in every facet of your 4 years.
So one more question, and then I'll let the two of you go. I've asked Mike this in the past, so I got to get your answer first, Daren. But you've been here a long time. This is a pretty cool week to be a part of. But what's your favorite moment as a 49er across your entire career?
Wow, that's great. You know what? Probably was when I was a student, actually. In 1988, we were an 11-year drought from the NCAA basketball tournament. I was in Richmond, Virginia when we won the championship, and Byron Dinkins was the MVP, and now he's on our staff, and it's just so full circle. That was probably my tearful moment. And maybe the other time, though, I'll tell you, though, probably when, we kicked off against Campbell. When that ball went in the air, I can get, goosebumps right now thinking about that. And then Mark Hogan returned that pass. Yep. We scored the first points in 49er football history, part two, so to speak. But that was a moment that, I will never forget, kind of what was going on when it was going on. But probably the 88 Sun Belt Tournament Championship, and then again And then, we win this football game tomorrow.
That's going to be high up on your list,
too, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
So, Mike, you were pretty green, and you're bleeding green at that point. Has your answer changed? I think it was standing up on the stage after becoming the new AD was your first answer. So, have any new moments stuck out as being your favorite moment now?
Yeah, that actually now pales in comparison. It really does. I mean, I would say the two moments that stand out for me, one was this past May when we hosted the Conference USA Track and Field Championships, the men's and the women's. This was 9 days after the tragedy on our campus. It's a very emotional time on our campus to host that event. Our men's team was heavily favored and dominated the meet and literally ran away with the meet. The women were projected to finish third, which still is obviously that would be outstanding, but really overachieved in that meet and went into the final, the 4x400, with a chance to clinch the championship, and did so. They had to win it and finish, I think, a certain number of spots ahead of UTEP, the favorite. And Kristen Williams, Henry Williams' daughter, Bryce's sister, finished the final. She was the final, ran the final leg of the 4x400. And I stood there on the track, and it was extremely emotional for our school, for our program, for our kids, in the context of what had just happened on our campus to win that championship. The other moment that stands out for me happened during this past football season is when we won that game against Marshall at home to become bowl eligible. And, I think for me, just the joy of seeing all of the fans and students and players who had invested so much for so long in this place, and to get to accomplish something that had never been done here before, also extremely emotional, and something I'll never forget. That game, that ranks up in for me, probably one of the top 3 moments in my whole career.
I'll give you a spoiler. Quite a few of the players feel like that's their favorite moment too. So you're in good company there.
I would echo that too, because if he didn't say that, I was going to point it out, because I was on the field with him and saw the emotion in Mike and others, and that was a moment to remember and an accomplishment that, we do something. You do this one time, right? There's only one first.
Yep.
And this is our first.
Yeah, as a fan in the stands, being soaking wet, just cheering like crazy, I'm right there with you on that one. It's definitely in my top 10 for sure. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. I hope both of you enjoy the rest of your time here, and let's hope tomorrow works out good for us.
You bet. Thanks so much. Go Niners.
Yeah, thanks.